Hello, this is Dr. J here with Let's Play Saviors of Sapphire Wings. This is a first-person grid-based dungeon crawler by Experience Inc. I've played a couple other dungeon crawlers by Experience Inc., although a long time ago. Operation Abyss and Operation Babel, I think is what they were called. I've played a few hours of this game, so I'm going to remember the beginning of it fairly well, but after that it's going to be blind. And this is a game that I promised to LP like a while ago, like 7 months ago or more, but a lot of things happened and delayed it. But now here we are at long last, and I can begin an LP for Saviors of Sapphire Wings, because my viewers seem to really like those first-person dungeon crawlers, and so do I. So let's go. Holy Calendar Year 868. By the way, it's going to be tough to get the volume right on this game because the music is like super loud. So I did a test run and tried to set it to a level that will hopefully be well balanced versus my voice. Anyway, Dragor, the final battle between light and dark. Led by the Knight of Light, Zeth Landlight. Knights of the Round fought a battle to the death in the core darkness. To save his comrades, who the Overlord charmed in angle brackets, Landlight ran through the demonic castle alone. But his glorious determination was all for naught. And then, using the power of the demonic mirror, he returned to Death's embrace, the site of the battle. It's Araste. Araste is a very fetching elf sorceress. Okay. Alright, so we have some comrades who've gone ahead to fight the Overlord in the throne room, but first we have to deal with this thing. As of now, our avatar has no eyes, or rather his bangs are growing over his eyes. That will not remain true. There's a reason it's like that. So, we don't actually have a whole lot we can do, despite the fact that we are starting as a high-level party. Zeth here can cast Divine Aura, which is a heal, and Aura Whistle, which is a group heal. And he can bash things with his sword. That's actually it. Araste could bash things, but she's a sorceress, so why would she? And she has some spells. Some fire spells, a dark flare, and mass slow. That's it. Like I said, not a lot of options, considering we're a high-level party, but that's fine, because it's the beginning of the game and we're learning how it works. Alright, that's the end of him. Araste does have a very attractive character design. Alright. So here we are in the Overlord's castle. I don't think we can bring up a map. I tried bringing up a map in my test recording and it did not work. That's okay because it's the starter dungeon and the layout is not complicated. It's also symmetrical, so even had we gone the other way, it would look exactly the same. By the way, let's admire the rather beautiful looking skybox. Very ominous and yet gorgeous at the same time. Alright, so that icon indicates that we can go upstairs, quite obviously, being an up arrow. Experience Inc. has a very distinctive style with their dungeon crawlers. One of which is that they have, like, really horrific-looking monster art. The horrible thing we just fought didn't just look horrifying because it was a servant of the Dark Lord. Pretty much all the monsters are going to look terrifying. That combined with the very anime-style portraits, which are generally very well done, with a lot of attractive character designs. And some of the things like icons like this and the sound effects are all just kind of part and parcel of the style of Experience Inc.'s dungeon crawlers. Oh, here's our friend Pyros. I don't have the impression that these are especially well-known games. Pretty obscure as far as I can tell. Oh. So if I leave them behind, do you mean they all died? How about you, Araste? Did you have squires? That's a pretty good line. I think I like Pyros. "12F. Alright. Of Dragor. There's boss icon, quite obviously. And it's just a platform, a balcony, so let's quit stalling and kill the Overlord. It's going to be the shortest game ever. Ol Oma. Why is his name separated by an equals sign? Why not a dash? That's very odd. Okay, so he's also a horror show. He's the Dark Lord, so you would expect that. Pyros is even simpler. He doesn't even have any spells, he just whacks things. Fire Blast is a group attack, so go ahead and use that. Haraste. For the Dark Lord, you are not doing much damage. Alright, round 2. Pyros' defense is impenetrable. That's why he took 9 damage. I think he actually took multiple attacks and the first one got blocked or something. Okay, 54 damage. That's actually a meaningful percentage of his hit points. That said, this battle's going awfully smoothly. Oh! Yikes. Okay. That was a lot of damage. And the formation was disrupted. Well, that's what we have the spell Aura Whistle for. That'll fix a variety of things. Actually, you know what? Araste should maybe toss a healing item on herself. What's this? Change equipment. Does not consume your turn, which is very interesting. Okay, that recovers all allies' MP. Oh, and that... Okay, that fully restores one person's MP. Go ahead and do that, Araste. I'm going to cast Aura Whistle anyway, because it also fixes the formation, and the formation's messed up. Oh, is she dead? Oh, no. That did not happen in my test recording, so there is some randomness to how this battle goes. Can I resurrect her? Do I have a res spell, or item? Maybe I don't. Well, that's unfortunate. How dare you, you scum. Or so it seemed. Well, that's sneaky, having us fight an illusion and then the real thing hits us from behind. Fortunately, Araste is only game mechanics dead and not story dead. Oh no, her staff. The hopes of the knights are shattered. How could this have happened? We can't retreat. Game over. Short game. Death came for the Knight of Light, and an era of darkness began. Yeah, so this game starts out real dark. The heroes are defeated, the Overlord takes over, and an age of darkness begins. However, not everything is terrible. That actually looked like quite a beautiful land. Now, Operation Abyss and Operation Babel, the other two Experience Inc. games I'm familiar with, were much more modern games that take place in like modern day or even future Tokyo. So it's interesting playing an actual traditional fantasy game by this studio. Okay, so we died and failed miserably in our mission to save the world, but we became a soul and are now being reincarnated, and this is where we actually create our character. And that's why our character didn't really get a real portrait in that opening part. Okay, and we can just change all kinds of things. But we cannot yet change the main class and the subclass. Okay. So, name Zeth Landlight. I'm actually fine with that name. I'll keep it. Male? Sure. I'll keep that. Although, what do we look like if we're a female? Okay, we have to change what we look like ourselves. It doesn't automatically change it. Okay, so male it shall be. Cannot change main class or subclass. Soul shape. Select race as soul that determines the character's base abilities. The base stats from the selected souls are fixed. Okay. So we started as a mediator soul, and Raste was a sage soul. I actually forget what kind Pyros was. Okay, so that's for humans, and it's balanced stats. Sage's Soul is for elves. Benefits backline classes and superior int. Champion Souls for dwarves. Benefits frontline classes with superior strength and vite. Migmi. They don't even get a special name. Like, Mediator for humans, Sage for elves, Champion for dwarves, Migmi for Migmis. Benefits backline classes with superior, I'm gonna guess that's mysticism and agility. Expert Soul, the power of Naze. Benefits front row classes and superior agility, and Fairy Soul for fairies. We'll stick with Mediator. With the balanced stats, I think that's fine. And we can distribute bonus stats. Weapon attacks and valiant spells. Let's go ahead and increase that. Max hit point in defense, will increase that. Okay, luck, which as usual just affects a whole bunch of things in an unspecified way. Okay, mysticism is Max mana points in various spells, mainly healer. Intelligence is for wizard, okay. Well, I know that Strength and Vite will be useful, and let's give ourselves a point of agility. There we go. Looks good to me. Main class variant, that's interesting. I thought that I also got to select my appearance. Interesting. I didn't really want to change it anyway, but I was sure that I get to change my appearance. Oh, well, since I didn't want to change it anyway, that's fine. Alright, so we're on Chatawalk Island in Fiume Valley. We are now in the demonic calendar. But it's actually quite a beautiful land, so the Overlord taking over at least hasn't turned everything into an ugly hellscape. We are immediately thrust into battle. Alright, so we have Divine Aura, just like we did as a high-level hero, but instead of the other thing we have Remove Curse. Targets treasure boxes and items. Remove curses from treasure boxes via Divine Power. We have 3 potions, and that's it. Alright, so let's just beat them up. Get wrecked, goblins. They're very buck-teethed, aren't they? Buck-toothed. Alright, not much of a fight. Oh, we're dead. A girl's voice. Well, you are an anime maid with dichromatism on top of everything else. You could not be more anime if you tried. Expressionless girl. The Merlin. This is a little different from the Merlin of the legends. Obviously, there is some King Arthurian legend referencing going on here with the Knights of the Round, Merlin, etc. Yeah, that's a beautiful looking village. Fiume. A shrill voice. And a young voice. Saul. Oh, that's why this place isn't a hellscape. The Overlord hasn't gotten this far, I guess. Since you can set your sex to male or female, he does not say his eyes are open. Feels like it wouldn't have been that hard to code the game to say his or hers, but whatever. Not a big deal, really. I'm fine. I don't want you dying in my home. So Migmies are like halflings with big fluffy dog ears or something, I guess? Saul does not look like a Migmie, because he isn't. Oh no, sounds like we need to save her. Bone on. Rorone. Sounds like she should have an Atelier game or something. Oof. Harsh words. Alright, so we have awakened to a familial dispute. Lively's one word for it. Good morning, Merlin. I was able to rest. So we're gonna have to rescue Sol and this Rorone. Jeez, give me a moment, Bonan. Bonan does not make a great first impression, does he? We've got a party to assemble, after all. What a suspicious sort. Of course I'm in it for the money. I'll just say, what is that exactly? Yeah, like goblins. Oh, you're changing your tune. I think that there's benefit to choosing the most, like, good aligned and hopeful options for the dialogue. So I'm not going to play like a mercenary or a jerk or a edgelord. I'm going to play an honorable knight. What a noble thing to say. Yeah, I agree. Okay, you're starting to seem not so awful after all, Bonan. You seemed a little awful at first, I'm not gonna lie. Hey, nice. Okay, so yeah, Bonan seems like a much less sucky person now. Atlas of the Round. Okay, this is how we're able to check maps. Holy Era gold coin. Okay, great. So we have more than 500 GP because we can sell that. Thank you, Merlin. Merlin is not going to join our party. At least not in the first few hours of gameplay. I don't think she ever does, but I don't know that for sure. Okay, so let's go ahead and check on our equipment and such. We have longsword, chainmail, chain boots, a battle mantle, and yes, a Holy Era gold coin and 3 potions. And what's this? Check learned. Ah, skills and spells. Oh, we have Warding Light, which completely defends against Oma's impact. We start the game with that, even though that is an ability used by the final boss, or, well, I don't know if he's the final boss, but he's Evil Overlord. Tri-Slash. Now that is a Japanese first-person dungeon crawler classic. We got that in Class of Heroes as well. That was the fighter's skill. Got that at level 7. Ooh, Tetra Slash. Okay, so we've got things to look forward to. Radiant Spear and Radiant Blade. Alright. Oh, and class. So what is variant? Interesting. Well, let's head to the trading post. Yep, that's what I was planning to do. $320, not bad. Alright, so... we could get a flail. Let's see. It costs 800 and we have 820, so that would bankrupt us. But it would be a really good improvement to our attack power. It's tempting, to be honest. Or we could improve our defense. Ah, here's the... wow, that's expensive stuff. Here are the consumables. Jerky. Meat, legs, soup. Treasure box key. But why would we get any of that nonsense when we can increase our attack power by almost 3 times? Buy and equip. Nice. Alright. Now, let's head out and rescue those kids. I guess we can head to the Elder's home and see if we get any dialogue. Okay, that's it. Oh, that's not it. He hasn't got much to back it up. He just talks big. Okay, sweet. Let's make a save before we head out. I'm actually not going to overwrite my old save, because things were going extremely well in that save. And just in case they go more poorly this time, once we reach this point, if my original save is better, I'll just switch to that one. Obviously, once we pass that point, that will no longer be an option. For now, we're not at half an hour yet on the recording, so let's go ahead and head out. Village outskirts to Fiume Valley. Alright, it looks like you're able to edit your party, but obviously right now we don't exactly have a lot of options. There's our map. Alright, and we can bring up a bigger version. And we can rest and inspect things. So I really like the aesthetics of this game. Even though it does not exactly give the impression of being a high-budget production, I think this environment looks nice. And I like the atmosphere. Alright, well, let's try out our flail. One-hit kill. Very effective. And they're still only doing 1 point of damage to us, so clearly improving our attack power was the correct decision. And we got a smoke bomb. Yeah, I really like the way this looks. And I like the atmosphere of it. With the rain and the rolling thunder. I overall probably prefer if you get like some cool music for while you're exploring, but the whole just going with atmospheric sounds to just have good atmosphere does have something going for it. I don't hate it by any means. Alright, here's Saul. Oh, he got wrecked. He made it like 5 steps inside. He really is all talk. Erg. Taskete. Alright, I'm saving you. Thankfully, I have a flail. I can take these guys out in 1 hit, each. Still no GP. I guess it makes sense that a bunch of bugs wouldn't have GP. We did, however, get an alchemy lemon, alchemy coarse flour, and treasure silver scraps. Yeah, I'm a hero. I mean, I failed miserably to save the world, and as a result, the Overlord is conquering everything, but never mind that, I'm a hero. That's right. Yeah, I can tell you're scared. Yeah. No, no, no. Yeah, come with me. I know you're level 1 now, but you'll get better. You'll become a strong warrior. Alright. If you work hard, you will. A beautiful, godly voice resounds in our head. Okay, so it's a little odd, but even though the characters we're picking up to add to our party are concrete people with names and identities, we can change those names and various other aspects of them if we're so inclined. Did I have an appearance option like this when I was editing my own character and I just skipped right over it? I bet I did, didn't I? Like I said, I was going to stick with the default anyway, but it would have been neat to see what the other options were. We can change difficulty to easy if we want to, but we're not going to do that because we are true warriors. Okay, I'm fine with his name, Saul Highfield. Let's see what we can do appearance-wise. Okay, we can make him look like a wizard. Or we can make him look like he's in a completely different art style. Let's just stick with this. And I'm going to keep him as a fighter. Yeah, let's just keep him as a fighter. Now we can change his soul shape, which is strange because he's quite clearly a human, but we could give him like a dwarf soul if we want. I guess it means that he has a dwarf soul but a human appearance. Anyway, if we're going to make him a fighter, it seems to me that it makes good sense to give him a soul with good strength and vitality. He only gets 2 bonus points. That is not a lot of bonus points. Well, if he already has a lot of strength and vitality from his soul, let's add some agility so that he can hit things and then have a little bit of speed. I don't have a clue if these are good decisions I'm making. I'm just going by instinct and my generalized knowledge of RPGs. Okay, let's go. Welcome to the team, Saul. Master. He has joined the Squires. You don't have to call me Master. It honestly feels a little awkward. Alright. Let's look over what he's got. A worn dagger. Well, that is definitely crap. How could you possibly think a worn dagger and worn armor is properly equipped Saul? There, use the longsword, at least. Oh, we need to get this kid some better gear. I mean, the longsword certainly hits harder than the dagger, but he's got nothing in the way of armor. And he's level 2, not level 1. My mistake. He has Inspire Hit. While in the party, all party members' hit increases by 20%. That's a lot of percent. That sounds really good. Rush, which sounds a lot like Tri-Slash. But he's not going to get that for a few levels. He Does not have any spells. Alright, like I said, welcome to the team, Saul. 2 is better than 1. Try not to die immediately. Let's explore a little ways. We've got some primitive-looking palisades up. I guess the goblins must have made these. Well, that was just reckless of her. Oh, hello there. Well, we may have lost our first fetching elf, but we get a new one before even the first video is over, so that's okay. So you know who I am. Absolutely. Of course you can join us. Like I would ever turn down a cute elf. Saul. Saul, you are being very rude. Absolutely. Okay, that's better, Saul. Is it? Okay, if you insist. I don't know about calling Master a profound name, but sure. Alright, what was your name? I haven't played this game in 7 months, so I don't remember. Alpha, that's right. Welcome to the team, Alpha. Once again, we can make her look like she's in a completely different art style, or we can make her a paladin. But we're going to stick with the default. She is going to be our wizard. Her soul shape shall be Sage's soul. Say that 5 times fast. Stat points. Okay, more int is not a bad thing if you're a wizard. More Vite is not a bad thing so you don't die. Do I want my other point in Intervite? Let's do Vite. Okay. Looks good to me. Welcome to the team, Alpha. I shall do so. You really don't have to call me Master. Okay. Well, it's starting to look like we have a real team. Let's see what she's got. She is level 3. Firebolt, Windbolt. Slow. Okay, and that's it, but that's a good starting lineup. Alright, so she'll get the usual elemental attack spells. Variety of buffs and debuffs. You know, typical wizard type. She'll be useful to us. In addition to being good eye candy. Let's see. What's all this other stuff? Quest info. Oh yeah, we can check our... Pretty sure we get subquests too, or side quests. But right now we only have this main quest. Okay. In we go. Pretty soon we're going to want to call it an episode, I think. Well, let's at least get a little farther in the valley first. A sign. I'm probably going to try to 100% all the maps, but I might not do that on screen. I might or might not. It'll depend. Alright, so you two can just attack. And Alpha, I remember when she gains a few levels, she gets a magic attack she can just spam endlessly that doesn't consume MP, which is pretty sweet. But she doesn't have that yet. So for now I want to conserve her MP when possible, so she's just going to whack him with her staff. It's probably going to be adorable and ineffectual. 8 damage, has not a lot, compared to 60. Oh wow, Saul does 49, he can one-shot them too. Way to go, Saul. Excellent. Yeah, let's check that real quick, actually. If we go to Learned and Skills, Wizard Bolt, that's the one I'm thinking of. Oh wow, while in the party, all party members' max MP increases by 20%. That also seems really good. There's the sign that told us to watch out when going north. Okay, that looks like a fixed encounter. Tell you what, let's get into that fixed encounter, and then maybe head back to town and call it an episode. Mandragoras. Excellent. This is RPG Basics 101. Okay, fire is strong against earth. I can remember that. Like, forest fire, burn down earth. Wind is strong against fire. Okay, so blow out fires. I guess I see the logic of that, although wind can just as easily spread fires, but you gotta have some kind of elemental affinity. And light and darkness are the superior elements. Okay, you two attack the Mandragoras, and you can actually bust out with some fire. Very effective. Nice job, Alpha. Alright, so it didn't actually tell us what all the elemental affinities were. I feel like it wouldn't have been that hard to tell us what earth and water were, but... Okay, so fire is good against earth. And wind is good against fire. Is earth good against wind? And water good? I don't know. I should look it up. But anyway, she told us that fire is ineffective against them because they're water elements, so just whack them. Oh, these guys are a little tougher. Not that tough, though. Yeah, you see what I mean about how all the enemies have pretty horrifying-looking sprites. This is just a thing with Experience Inc. Dungeon crawlers. It's the style. It's very distinctive. Very beautiful battle background, though. Look at that. And the character designs are great. I really like the visuals. Okay. Yeah, just because the video is starting to get a little long, let's go ahead and head back to town. I think that we have a fast travel option. Yes, let's go ahead and just use that. Oh, but it won't go where you haven't explored, which makes sense. So it actually would have been not necessarily faster, because this is pretty zippy, but more efficient space in terms of spaces traveled to go ourselves, but whatever. We didn't have any encounters anyway. Okay, we only have 30 GP. And did we even get anything that we can sell? We got silver scraps, that's not nothing. There we go. Last thing we'll do is see if we can get any better equipment for either of our teammates, though we have so little money that I'm skeptical. trying to figure out this UI here. How do I change who it's comparing for? Because right now it's comparing for Zeth. And I needed to compare for Sol and Alpha. Ah, like this. Got it. Alright, excellent. Okay, so about the only thing we can afford is a headband or a leather cap, which improves defense a tiny bit. I might just save my money for now, until we can get better stuff. Do they say anything new if I go to Elder's home? Oh yeah, because we've got Sol. Alright, I'll match his story. Ah yes, we do have sort of relationship gauges with our different characters. And the choices that you make can alter how your squires respond to you, so that's something to keep in mind. Or lane tier. Okay, so that's going to do it for the inaugural episode of Let's Play Saviors of Sapphire Wings. Since some number of my viewers are big Dungeon Crawler fans, like I said, I am too, hopefully you'll enjoy this one. So next time we will continue our explorations of the valley. I might do a little bit of just filling in the map and grinding off screen. But I won't do anything important off screen. I won't advance the plot, get in any boss battles or anything like that. But like I said, just filling in the map, a little bit of grinding. Might do that off screen before the next episode. Just do that kind of thing in between episodes. So I'll see you next time as we continue trying to find and rescue Rorone.